with conversion rate and everything, so my dad sends 10 lakh every year.
In general, I feel like the unsafe region of Netherlands will be like a safest region of UK.
I get money in experiments like 30 euros an hour.
But what kind of experiments? Do they experiment on you?
If you get the student housing in the first year, it's not expensive. Your rent could be 200 euros a month. And then I tutor.
Okay.
So I get paid from 22.5 to 30 per an hour.
Euros per hour. People came from India and went
My
back.
course, there was a dropout rate of 70%. They have a rule. The question you see in the book, I can bet you will not see a similar question also in the exam. I was in India finding a place, and of course back home 7 oceans apart, I cannot find a place in a city I've never been to. And they said if you can't find a place, don't come to the university.
Hey guys, welcome back to Murad Run. आज की वीडियो में I have Kopal with me who is studying at University of Amsterdam, and in this video we're going to talk about everything that you need to know about studying in University of Amsterdam. We'll be talking about how to get into this university, how is it like to study in this university, part-time opportunities, expenses that you have in the university, everything in just one video. So without further ado, let's directly jump into it without dying. I first want to know, how did you get into University of Amsterdam and what was the process?
So I was back in India when I was applying to universities, and I did not want to talk to counselors because
Very good.
I thought, I don't know, they will give me biased answers, or they will give me an answer that is straightforward. Oh, this university, this university, this university. And when I told them I want to apply to King's College London or LSE or UVA or like Melbourne, they were like, oh, we don't help you with these universities, because then I got to know they don't get paid from these universities, and I was like, no, I'm not getting here. And then I talked to my parents, and they were like the most supportive parents I could say. And then we sat down, we found out the university. So literally the most simple search was like best universities in the world, and then US came, and I was like, US gets off the list because I can't afford it.
Okay.
Then UK came, then Europe, and then Australia.
Okay.
And I did not want to go to Australia because it's like a continent in like
Okay, Europe is also a different continent, but I understand that it's so far. It's so far from
away,
where you are.
and it's
Yes.
like 18 hours of flight, and
Yes. Okay, so you boiled it down to UK and Europe.
Yes, and Canada.
Okay, Canada was also there.
Yeah, because it was my brother stays there.
Okay.
But then again, it's too expensive.
Yes.
And even if I stay with my brother, it's still so expensive, and I couldn't like my parents couldn't afford it. So back on UK.
UK and Europe.
UK, I wanted to go to LSE. I did not get in.
Okay.
So I was like, if not LSE, not UK. And then I applied in Netherlands. I applied to Maastricht, UvA, and Erasmus. Erasmus, I applied business administration. UvA, I applied business analytics. And Maastricht, I applied business engineering. And then I was like, I don't want to do business administration. So it was just UvA and Maastricht. And then UvA had a better ranking. So it was like,
So that's how you ended up in
yeah.
University of Amsterdam. Okay. First thing, do you regret it?
No, I wouldn't change a thing.
How interesting. Now, you said that it's not that expensive. Can you break down the numbers that you're spending?
So the tuition fee as an international student is 9,000 euros, or like
Which is around 9 lakh
lakhs.
rupees.
Yeah, and with conversion rate and everything. So my dad sends 10 lakh every year.
Okay.
That is the easier part. And then when we come to living,
It's so expensive.
if you get the student housing in the first year, it's not expensive. Your rent could be 200 euros a month.
A month?
Yeah, it's like you have to pay that much in Delhi. I think my friends are paying that
I
much.
think more. I was paying more in Delhi than Dubai.
Yeah.
That's around 18,000 rupees.
Yeah.
I was paying more than 18,000 rupees.
Exactly.
In Gurgaon specifically, where you
Yeah.
come from, we pay more.
But then I did not end up getting the student housing because it was a lucky draw.
Ah.
So 50% students get it, 50% don't.
You're the
I was in the-
unlucky one.
But I was like, okay, so I was in India finding a place, and of course, back home 7 oceans apart, I cannot find a place in a city I've never been to. And they said, if you can't find a place, don't come to the university. And I was paranoid because I'm in August, I don't have a uni back home. I applied to DU, but again, I don't want to go there right now. So when I found someone whose moms, sisters, colleagues, children used to stay in some house, and they were vacating here. So she texted me, do you want a house? And I was like, yes. I said yes to the house, even though it was 1 hour away, and 1,200 euros a month.
1,200 euros.
So my estimation went from 200 euros to 1,200
1,200
euros.
euros, which is 1,20,000 rupees.
If my parents pay that much in India, they would have a house by now, but it's nothing.
I don't think so.
Like
Yeah.
something.
Okay, no, I get it. So you got that housing. Other than that, are your friends also paying similar amounts, or is it?
If you're lucky enough, to find a house, you can even pay 600 euros. My friend is paying 600, but then she's staying in a region called Balmer, which is not considered not the safest region. Like nothing has happened there yet, but it's like
But in general, I feel like the unsafe region of Netherlands will be like a safest region of UK.
yeah, but if you're lucky enough, you can find a house under 500. Like if you put your heart and soul in finding a house for 2-3 months. But till that time, you neglect your studies, you neglect your friendship,
So-
and you go down the pit.
Now, will you start looking for another house?
No. Even if I have to pay this much right now, no. Because of that, I'm not messing up the other stuff. If I find a house, it is also about the people you live with. The people
Okay.
I live with now, they feel like home, they feel like family. Like
Okay.
I would love to come back to them.
Okay, so it's much of a comfort thing now.
Yes.
But in retrospect, if you get a chance, if a new couple is coming to Amsterdam,
But a new couple would also not know how to find a
Yeah.
house in the first place.
if you have to give some recommendations, how much should they be spending and where should they be finding it from?
Even if I give recommendations, it will not work. This is all luck. It's like you put a hand there, you might get. I have friends who paying 1,500 euros for a studio, no, 3,000 euros for a studio. It's like people, like a couple house, but they could not find a house. So two of my friends are sharing one bedroom, and they pay 1,500 euros per month. And I stay in a 4-bedroom house with a bedroom
have
to
your own.
myself, a huge drawing room. So it's luck. It's purely luck. There's nothing you can do about it. You can always be on Facebook and Marketplace and finding a house if you're lucky enough you do.
Okay, now these were like the expenses part. In terms of making money, are you working part-time and are your friends working part-time?
I work part-time, I tutor.
Okay.
Other than that, I do experiments. So I get money in experiments like 30 euros an hour.
But what kind of experiments? Do they experiment on you?
They're like surveys. So
Okay.
or they can actually experiment on you also. Like my friend is doing this experiment for 6 weeks when they put her on a diet and she loses 10 kgs or something. But that's a win for her because she wants to lose weight and she's getting money for it and the food for it.
Okay.
So there are experiments like that, but we also have experiments like psychology students doing it.
Is it like very common or one
very, very common? Almost everyone does it. It's in the university on the 7th floor, so you can just go get money.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. That's one.
And then I tutor.
Okay.
So I get paid from 22.5 till 30 per an hour.
Euros per hour.
Depending on my ratings. If I tutor good and the students like it, they give me 30 euros an hour. Not they, like the company gives me 30 euros an hour.
How many students are there while you're tutoring?
15 to 20, but I don't care about that because the company gives me a fixed amount.
30 euros an hour is around 3,000 rupees
Yeah,
an
but
hour.
it looks that I teach 1 hour, but the amount of hard work put
Yeah.
to make the slides, to make the content, to make the summaries, to read, to learn that whole subject, to tutor them.
But this would not be like full 66 hours a week, right?
You know,
This would be. Are your friends who do such part-time works, which is like common for everyone?
yeah. I have friends who work in Sarvana Bhavan. There's this another Indian restaurant called Kailash Parbat. And then friends who are not Indians, they work in Yumbo, Albertine, because it's just easier for you to get a job in an Indian restaurant if you're Indian, I feel. And
How much did they get paid?
13 or 14 euros an hour. But that depends on your age. If you're above 21, you get 16 euros. I'm not sure above 21, but you get paid more. But below 21, it's 14 euros an hour, 12.50, 13, and tips excluded.
Tips excluded.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you do end up working, I would want to say that you can make a good amount of money because okay, it's just give me a second. I'm trying to calculate it.
Like a good month for my roommate, she earns 600, 700 euros.
So you can basically cover your living expenses, like rent if you're living at a cheap place.
Kind of. No, because then you have insurance, taxes. that
Okay,
you
tell
pay.
me more about the other expenses that people don't think of.
So, insurance, you pay 50 euros or 60 euros a month, which is a lot because back home my dad used to pay 80 and 100 rupees or something like that
Yeah.
per month. Then I would say phone recharge. You pay
20,
20,
yeah.
30 euros. Utilities,
Oh, that's good. That can be 50 to 100.
50 to 100. Then taxes. Every 3 months or 4 months you get garbage tax. Maybe you have to pay, maybe you're exempted from it, whatever like that. So we count taxes also. Then transportation. I pay 100 euros a month for transportation.
Transportation is expensive.
Food, groceries. If you go out, which I think people do, every weekend you pay. Club entries, bar entries, anything. It has fees.
So, more or less, let's say half of your expenses you can cover with your part times.
If you work that much a month.
And would you recommend people to work that much?
You'll fall behind the studies, be it my course, be it business analytics or business admin or media and culture, whatever course it be, you will fall behind in studies.
Tell me more about the studies. How hard do you think it is? What is the difference between India and Amsterdam?
So before coming here, as we all have heard as Indians, 10th पढ़ लो, 12th पढ़ लो, college तो fun है. So I had this fairy tale mindset, oh, I'm in Europe. No, but it's like study in abroad. We forget the aspect study.
Yeah, this is something I've said at least 100 times in my videos.
And then I came here and I landed here on the 20th of August. 4th of September my classes started. 26th September I had an exam. Mathematics 1, calculus and analytics. I failed both of them.
You failed, flunked.
Okay, and by fail here means getting a 50 is a fail.
Oh.
So pass is a 55.
Okay.
So I got a 52 and they count that as a fail. And the highest was 60. So 30% people passed the first exam. And I was like, I was good at maths. I got like a 97, 98 and 12. I'm good in studies. What is happening now? And then I was like, okay. And then I realized I cannot go out that much. And then in the end term, I scored well. I really scored well. But it is also because as Indians, we have a strong base in maths. All my friends have dropped out. Like I had a friend group of 10 in the start. By the end of the year, I was friendless because all the friends dropped and went back to India or went back to their countries. They couldn't keep up with the studies. It's so hard in the first year.
Okay, tell me more about this. How many people came from India and went
My
back?
course, there was a dropout rate of 70%, and I had some friends who came here, couldn't study. They went back to India, went to OP Jindal, went to Ashoka, went to Flames, because they couldn't do the first year here. And for you to pass the first year, you need to at least pass 8 out of 10 courses. And it sounds easy because when I was back in India, I was like, oh, I can easily pass. I'll pass all the courses. I'll get into honors. Because I've always been one of the top students in school, but it's not like this. They have a rule. The question you see in the book, I can bet you will not see a similar question also in the exam. In the exam, there are questions on concepts. And either you can crack the exam or you can't. There's nothing in between. So either I get 8s or I fail. Because it's not like you can just get through it.
Wow, that's interesting. And what are these people doing when they go back?
They're just having their union, OP Jindal or Flames. Like, I don't know that much, but when I talk to them, they do sometimes regret that we wish we were here. Because once you've had the experience of abroad, I don't know if you can go back to India. Like, at least for university.
But isn't that like the best thing? Because it's like they're grilling you so much, but they're sort of getting the best out of you.
They are. So they actually, it is literally the thing that if you're the fittest, you'll survive. So 30% people survived in second year. I have so many friends who switched from business analytics to economics and business.
Because it's much more easier and less tech heavy.
I wouldn't say easier, but I would say more well established. Because economics has been there for years and business analytics data, it's new. AI, it's new. They don't have enough experiences in past papers or professors or something. So they're learning as we are learning. But economics, it's been there. It's evergreen. It will always be there.
And how are the professors? Good, bad, average?
We have new professors every 2 months because our courses change every 2 months. So even if you have a bad professor, you just need to deal with him for 6 weeks. So it's not.
In general, kaise hai?
ठीक है. Like, some are very experienced, so they don't think, oh, you are starting at the starting point, like you're at the base.
Oh, okay.
They think you know stuff. They assumed I know Python. I don't. I'm from a commerce background. I don't know how to code. I don't even know how to install Python. and they just assumed I know Python. So I had to take tutoring back home. So I had a Python teacher back in India who used to teach me, because I could take a crash course on Coursera, but I don't even know how to do that.
But also, wasn't this like a prerequisite requirement for the
No,
course?
they said we will teach you coding from scratch. By scratch, they meant you deal with it yourself and pass the course.
Ah, shoot, that's.
It's so it's self-learning, and that is the biggest challenge as an Indian, I feel, because in 12th I had tuitions. I had teachers telling me, just do this question. If you don't do this question, you'll fail. And I do this question and I get a 90 plus in my exams. It doesn't work out here.
So it is actually making you ready for the real life.
Yes, like I think I am. I know how to handle pressure. I at least hope. I know if I have a bad day, I still need to go home, cook, clean the house, prep for the next day. If I need to go out tonight, I know I will not be able to wake up early the next day.
Yes.
So
Okay, tell me more about the classroom size, people, where are they from?
So we have lectures. Okay, so for the first year, I had my courses with econometrics and data science and actuarial sciences. So we were a total of 500 kids in the lecture,
Wow!
and every tutorial had not more than 20 kids.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, so we had individual. They like literally taught us individually if you had doubts. But the second year, my course is separate from their course, like some aspects of them. So I have a total of 160 students now.
That's also a lot.
Not that much.
In
because
one classroom,
in a lecture room.
in a lecture room.
But in tutorials, it's again 20, 30.
So, how many lectures do you have in a day?
I have 2 courses right now. So I have 2 lectures for both the courses and 2 tutorials for both the courses and 1 computer lab for one of the courses. So I'd say every day I have 2 to 4 hours of class, depending on the day.
And it's Monday to Friday.
Yeah, but I can choose. So like Thursdays, only in second year you can choose. So Thursdays I don't have classes, because on Wednesday I do 9 to 11, 11 to 1 and 1 to 3.
Oh wow, that's a lot of
That's
classes.
a lot, but then I get Thursdays off.
Okay, so you get to choose if you want a day off.
Yeah, only in the second year though.
Interesting. It's a 3-year course.
Yeah.
And any idea of how third year would look like?
So for the first 6 months of the third year, I'm going to exchange to Canada.
Oh wow.
I'm going to McMaster.
Oh nice. I've been there. Very beautiful
I
university.
know. So if you had a higher GPA above 7 or 7.5, you could have given your name for exchange, and it was all lucky draw. So I gave my name for University of Sydney, Melbourne, Toronto, Waterloo, McMaster, and they take a chip out, and I got McMaster.
Still, you're going to
Yeah.
Ontario. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
So for the first 6 months, I'm doing that. Then I'll come back here.
6 months.
Okay, from first 1 semester. So from September to December, but 2 months I'm going back to India. So I'm counting it as 6 months.
But it's the worst time to go to Canada.
I've been there at that time. My brother stays 1 hour away from the campus, so
Okay, and will it be included in the tuition fees?
yeah, tuition fees, yes. So like 8 lakhs, I'm going to university, that counts.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and then if you apply for exchange in Europe, you get paid monthly. Like my roommate, she's going to ESSEC Business School in Paris, and she will get 400 euros from the government every month. But if it's outside Europe, you will not.
Ah, did you try to apply for Europe?
Because I've had the European life. I know I can afford this. I know I cannot afford the American life. The thing I can't get, I should take it out from the university.
Interesting. That's a really smart idea. Wow. And any idea about the job opportunities? How's the job market looking like?
Not really. But if I think that my friends who do not have any experience right now can earn so much, I am sure that there would be jobs for the skilled labor. Like I'm studying so much. I'm sure that after 2 years, people would need AI. People would know machine learning, optimization. They would need me. So I'm just optimistic on that part right now. But I'm trying to look for internships. I'm applying for internships.
And have your friends found any internships?
Yeah, one of my friend landed up in Booking.com.
Wow. Booking.com has one of the biggest offices
Yeah.
here in Netherlands.
One got in, I think, Code Grade.
I don't know.
It's okay. One got in, I don't know, KLM flights.
Oh wow. Okay.
So if you actually listen to those advices, apply for 100 scholarships, you will land up in one. You will. But I did not apply to any scholarships. Internship.
And any idea how much they'll be making or something?
Right now, my friend, she works in this NGO. I think
NGO won't be paying that
it's
much.
not NGO. It's like Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah, they won't be paying.
But
that
she
much.
gets around 400, 500 euros a month, and people who work in KLM or Booking.com or some other one might get 1200, 1300.
Yeah. Doctors Without Borders doesn't give that much, but it's a really beautiful place to work. For.
Yeah, I'm so glad she got it. Like, she worked hard for it. So.
And in general, do you think people here are smarter than people in India?
Definitely. Like,
Is it?
okay, again, I have had a very few sample size because I was in India till I was 17, so I don't know people outside my classroom back in high school. But here, when I see people like Russian people, Chinese people, like, I see that the way they think of, not being racist or anything, but the way they think of certain things, I cannot think like that. Even they say that about Indians, that Indians here are so intelligent.
Okay, tell me more about the way they think about something.
I think, okay, we get Oscar films for the fact in which people are going in slums and they're traveling in
Yeah.
trains. India is not about that always. So they have this perception that if I'm from India, I might be poor. And I cannot explain them enough that Ambani is also from India. So
Yeah.
that also does not make me the richest. But India is not what you think, because they have this, either they think you're extremely intelligent or they think you're poor, or they just have this closed mindset, and I don't like that, because India is so much more than that and you have no idea about it.
Yeah.
So, but they do think Indians are extremely intelligent. They will be like, oh, you're Indian, how are you failing a course? I'm like, I can fail even if I'm an Indian. So. But they're very open about us. It's not like I have friends in Italy, Italian, German friends, like
Okay, tell me more about the class demographics. Where are they mostly from?
almost nine. It's weird that I stay in a Dutch country and I don't have Dutch friends here, because all the Dutch people have their separate courses in their language.
Ah, okay, because you're doing an English taught
Yeah,
course.
and all English courses, I think there are 2 Indians in my class or 3 Indians in my class. It's all over the world, literally all over the world. It's so international. That's why I feel there is no discrimination. There might be, touch wood, I haven't encountered any, but there's no discrimination. People will welcome you. There are cases when people would want to sit with people from their own ethnicity
But
or
that's-
country.
that's
But I
normal.
think that's everywhere. But
That's a comfort zone thing where they would want to go back to people who they relate the most with. Interesting. That's beautiful. I love that you're having such a good experience.
I like it here. I wouldn't change it. Like, I'm learning so much, I'm growing so much. The first day I came here, I sat here with my parents, and like, they loved me.
How often do your parents come?
My mom has come 5 times. My dad has come 4 times. And they might come again in June.
Do they stay with you?
Yeah, they stay with me.
You have big enough place for them to stay with you.
This house is bigger than the house I own back in India. Like, it's huge.
Wow.
It's like it's humongous. And even after they stay, it's not like we are having complications. It's so big. It's fine.
Lovely.
But then again, as a student, I don't think I should have such a big house. Like, it's very difficult to handle it.
Yeah. And also because the rent will be comparatively higher.
It's the same. It doesn't matter. Again, you're just lucky enough. Housing market is just luck. I wouldn't say anything else other than that.
Okay. Interesting. Any other thing you would want someone who's coming to University of Amsterdam to know?
Life here would look like a fairy tale, but don't expect a lot. Like, it would be far beyond your expectation. It would be good. It would be hard. It wouldn't be easier. You would want to give up a million times. But then you just realize that, oh, at least you're crying in Amsterdam some days and not back home. So it's not going to be easiest, but you will grow and learn so much that you'll not even, at this point, I don't understand. Sometimes I literally call up my parents and I'm like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I could have been in DU. I could have a driver drop me to DU, pick me up from there. But then I realized, no, I am learning. I'm growing so much.
Okay, so in retrospect, if I give you a chart of your life from DU and if I give you a chart from University of Amsterdam, honestly, this is going to look like way different than that other chart. So,
Because I have best friends back home who are in DU. So I know what's going on there. I know the fests and I know all the culture there.
So they're having a lot of fun right
lot.
now. I understand, but I feel like you're also having a lot of fun in your own terms.
Yeah, it's like we don't have things like them. Like we don't have fests like big holy festivals or big. Diwali
You will
fest-
start having them.
sooner.
He will have an Oktoberfest.
We will.
Germany will have an Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Okay. They
Like
carnivals and all those things.
all of those things are open for you. Like whenever you want to, you can go for an
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
So for Holi, I went to Delft this
Yes.
year because they had some small Indian gathering and it was cute. So you need to seek home, like you need to find home here sometimes.
But I also feel like it's not that difficult
It
to
is
find
not.
Indian culture.
It is not. We threw a Diwali party at a place. There were like 50 people at a place. It is not difficult. But sometimes you just miss it.
Yeah, you do. But that you would miss in any part of the world. Like,
Even back home, if my parents are having a function and I'm in Bombay or I'm
yeah, that's what I was about to
would-
say. If you were in a different city, you will miss that part.
Exactly.
But tell me more about the biking culture. Why haven't you started biking?
I did.
yet?
I tried, but I don't think I was physically fit to try bike 8 kilometers and reach uni all sweaty and like then sit and do mathematics. I did not have it in me, but the public transport is amazing here. I have like it's so weird. I tell this to my parents that if you go clubbing, all my friends bike to the club and no one cares, no one judges them. If I do that back home, I don't think I can do that back home.
No, I don't think anyone could do. But I also feel like the public transport is amongst the best in the world. I think only Singapore has seen better public transport because I was coming back home 1:30 yesterday. I was the single person in the bus,
Because
and it
the
was
night
also, but it was also on time.
Yeah.
And I told someone that it might just be late. Then they were like, no, buses aren't late, which is just so shocking to me because in UK buses are always late.
But it's so safe also then.
The bus is so safe. It is. The certainty is so safe. And I had a stop in the middle of nowhere. So I was. When you go north, there's north, and there's like a very shady area there. And I was in that shady area, and I didn't feel unsafe even for a second.
It's not. You're like, if something has to go wrong, it will go wrong
In
anywhere.
anywhere of the world. in
But
part of the world.
if you take care of yourself, even if you go at night, you make sure you're not going out alone. Like all those things that we have been taught. Always have a pepper spray with you.
You do have a pepper spray with you?
No, but I should. But learn self.
You know it's illegal to carry pepper spray in UK.
I don't think it's illegal in Europe.
I have no
I have no idea. I don't have one. I just believe in God and get out of the house. But all my friends have my location. My parents have my location.
Oh, that's
My brother in Canada has my location. So I know I'm safe.
This is so beautiful. For the camera.
See, people are so sweet here.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing. I love it.
All my friends went to the library 8 a.m. on Saturday. We studied till 1. 1 we walked to the park. Literally there was this person had a DJ set up in the middle of the road because it was sunny and was singing Amsterdam, just Amsterdam word. Then 2 minutes.
Just Amsterdam. Amsterdam.
Yeah, literally this. And then 2 minutes you walk down, some guy is giving free haircut. 3 minutes you walk down, there's this puppy show going on. And then we went to the park. Literally everyone is on the grass lying down. So it feels, if you know what you're interested in, you will find millions of options to do. Like it's so happening, it's so fast.
And so for us in Oxford, there are like a million things happening, all of them coming on your WhatsApp group. This is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Does that also happen
Yeah.
for university scene or in general city?
I think it does come on the WhatsApp group too, but you need to be a bit more socially available here. Like you need to show you're out there. People will not invite you if you, like it's not like in high school that people are like, oh, the entire class can go out. No, you need to find your people. You need to find the right people.
Oh.
It is very hard for a lot of people to make friends here because I don't know. It takes time for you to find the right kind of people. Because here I came when I was 17. People here are like 20, 21 also doing bachelors, 25 also doing bachelors, which was a big cultural shock for me because back home I can't be 25 and starting my bachelor's. So you need to be out there to find the right people, or it's just, as you always say, the people you find in the first year are never your friends till the end. So I don't know if it's the theory or it's just.
In fact, I've heard an opposite theory which says the people that you find, the first people that you meet are the best friends for your life, something like that.
I think only one friend of mine, that's it. Other than that, no.
You didn't end up staying friends with them?
Yeah, it was just like we just fall apart.
Okay. And for the cooking and everything, you do that every day yourself?
I don't know how to cook yet too, but I'm learning. I try.
You've already cooked for a year.
I know, but then last year, half of the time I survived on ready to eat, which my mom used to send, like palak paneer ready to eat. Put hot water, you'll get palak paneer. But then I gained 10 kgs, and I was like,
I need to get. But the food here is so good.
It is so good. It's so fresh. But that's sometimes, my saying this might sound weird, but like it's so fresh. It's pain sometimes because I get fruits yesterday. It will get expired in 3 days. It will get rotten in 3 days. I'm not at home in 3 days. I need to throw it in the
Yeah,
dustbin.
but then it's just so fresh. Like it's surprisingly fresh. I was about to say grapes. I have never tried such grapes in my life.
Frozen pizzas.
Yeah, come on.
No, trust me, it's for €2 and it's better than Domino's.
Obviously, anything is better than Domino's.
I love Domino's, but
Okay.
I love the food.
How often do you eat out?
Not that often. This year, not that often.
Last year, you
Yes.
ate a lot.
But it also is that, okay, by eating a lot, if you go to Albertine or Yumbo, you might get a coffee for €1. You might get the bakery stuff like croissant or wraps or something that's for like €1. So I don't count that as eating out because I eat that a lot. But other than that, proper meals very bad. I cook.
Nice. And does this cafe count as eating out?
No.
That's what you think.
Yeah, but you don't get any food here. It's all beers and drinks.
Okay. Tell me more about the party culture in Amsterdam.
It's so fun. Like, I did not party last year at all because I was trying to get my studies on track and I couldn't. But this year I went out way more than last year. I went out a lot. You will have different clubs. You will have bar hoppings. It's fun. It's really fun.
What do you think about the coffee culture here?
Honestly, it's so open that you don't find it weird.
Coffee culture basically means pot. It does mean pot, right? Weed, sorry,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I have no idea.
So something called a cafe and there's something called a coffee house. The first day I came here, I got into a coffee house just to realize a coffee house is weed. But then, you know, back home when my parents told their friends or someone, oh, I'm sending my daughter to Amsterdam, they had this mindset,
Oh, weed, all
drug
day
culture,
weed.
and I'm like, okay, but people are so respectable about her. They will not offer you, they will not talk about it, they will not. I have gone to parties where they are doing weed, but they are respectable enough to go to a different room, go to the balcony to do it. You don't like the smell, they will not come close to you. So even if it is legal, I think it's legal, it is not abused. It's like in such a safe space that even if people are doing, they know their capacity, they know what they are doing.
It is one of the only few cities in Europe that where it is legal. Yet it does not even come in top 10 cities in Europe that
Exactly.
does it. That was the most shocking fact. Because when I came here, I was like, oh, everyone would be weed.
You know
weed,
what? There's a
weed,
weed shop there, like around the corner.
weed. There's a weed shop everywhere.
Yeah, literally in front of the university. So it's just so simple. It's so simple. Like it's there and no one cares about it.
Yeah, because it's no longer a forbidden fruit. It's no longer like, oh, weed. It's just so normal here.
It's exactly like people don't care enough about it. People who wants to do it, they will do it. People,
Has it ever been a problem or anything?
no, never. Like never. And it's not like I've been to parties where people are doing it, but I just know they are doing it, but they don't come close to you. They don't offer it to you. They don't force it on you.
That's beautiful.
Like even the drinking culture here, people will not give your drink to someone else. They know that it is wrong to ask anyone to drink. It's so safe. Like they know their limits.
There's also one very interesting thing where people have stopped drinking. I don't know if that is around your friends group or
Because
not.
everyone wants to be healthier now. Everyone wants to take care of their health.
Is that happening around your friends
Yeah.
group? Because at least in my MBA, there are so many people who have stopped drinking.
I don't see a lot of alcohol culture here. Like, I don't drink, my friends maybe they drink sometimes. It's not a big thing. Like, we go out, you get a free shot at the entry, maybe someone will have it. That's it. Nothing other than that. Like,
The alcohol culture is still huge in UK, like huge. But then it's surprising to see like some people actively not choosing to drink.
it's here also. Like, if I go to a house parties, there will be alcohol. But
No, like in Oxford, everything is alcohol. Like it's your day starts with alcohol, ends with alcohol. Everything
Not
has alcohol.
not here. And I think now people are embracing more because you need to keep in mind if someone is drunk, they can't bike home. Like it's also if they're drunk, they can't crash at someone. My friends have gotten drunk and everything, but they learn. Like it's I wouldn't say that's a part of a life. Like it's there. We go clubbing till 4 a.m. We have fun without it also.
Oh, nice. And I don't know if I want to keep this in the video. Your thoughts about red light district?
I've been there with my parents.
Oh, wow.
My parents and I went there together, but it was more like they telling me and educating me about it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So my parents like very open about everything, and they teach me, and they always say it's something better to you. Like it's better for you to know it from us rather than a stranger coming in. But again, it's so safe. Like my way to university is from Red Light District.
Is it?
It's so safe, and all of them, I think, I'm not sure about this thing, but half of them have been moved to the outskirts of Amsterdam or something.
They will be moved to the
Yeah.
house. Don't ask me why I know, because I just took a walking tour yesterday, and by 2027 they will be moved.
Yeah, but it's so safe. Like, I've been there with my parents, I've been there with my friends, but it's like, exactly, people think Amsterdam, drug, weed, Red Light District. Nothing, it's not even a part of the city. It's not even 1% of the city.
That's beautiful.